and King's Restaurant. Always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Now on Prime Time, the FBI raids the CNMI governor's office and other locations up in Saipan. Plus, we've got a recap from last night's Department of Corrections oversight hearing, and a pair of lawyers break down the recent Guerra trial. Chris Barnett has that story coming right up.
Hafaday and good evening. Several different locations on Saipan were raided by the FBI today. This includes the office of the CNMI governor. KUAM's Adriana Cotero reports.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation confirms that various agents were flown to Saipan from all over to execute several search warrants.
I really don't know where they all came from, to be honest with you, but we did have to beef up our presence there to execute. I mean, with, if it was just one location, we probably could have done it with, the folks we had on hand to do with a number of locations.
Having to beef up their presence on the island, FBI Honolulu Media Coordinator Jason White would not disclose the locations of the searches or specifics of what has been seized, but KUAM has learned that agents searched CNMI Governor Ralph Torres' office on Capitol Hill, his vehicle, and his residence. Agents also made their way down the hill to Governor Ralph Torres' brother's law firm, Torres Brothers LLC, located in Guerra. The feds were also seen walking into Vestcor Complex, where Imperial Pacific International Legal and Human Resources offices are located. Imperial Pacific International owns Imperial Palace Casino located in Guerra. CNMI Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios held a press conference. Governor Torres was not present.
The governor's office has complied with all their needs and have been in consistent full cooperation throughout their visit. We have provided them with all the information and access that they have asked for, with the intent of being completely transparent and helpful in the investigation.
CNMI Lieutenant Governor Palacios said the administration plans to continue to provide full cooperation and assured the community that this has not slowed down any government operations to improve the local economy. Agent White could not disclose any further information due to an ongoing investigation. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
KUAM has also learned that Imperial Pacific International's accounting, finance, CEO, and general counsel's offices were raided and management was questioned. As you may recall, the CNMI governor and his family's ties to the IPA casino made national headlines back in February 2018, published in a Bloomberg article that alleged the island leader and his brothers have received millions of dollars from the Chinese company. A man is in custody after a stabbing incident on Sergeant David Camacho Street in Tamuning earlier today. According to Guam Fire Department spokesperson Kevin Riley, units from Station 1 responded at around 12:30 p.m. to a male, age unknown, who suffered a puncture wound to the lower extremity. There is no word on his condition. Round 2 for the Department of Corrections and Director Samantha Brennan fighting to bring new officers on board and fighting to keep the ones she currently has safe. But Vice Chair on the Committee on Public Safety, Vice Speaker Talina Nelson, wants to see things in writing instead of hearing more lip service.
DOC Director Samantha Brennan says she meets weekly with the governor on Wednesdays and has pushed the need to fast-track recruitment and even waive requirements to bring more officers on board. The situation at DOC is so critical that there are a total of 160 officers, some even working 24-hour shifts to handle a total population of 682 inmates, detainees, overnighters, parole violators, contempt of court, and those on immigration hold. But there's a difference between discussions and documentation.
Well, you already told me that you came up with the ideas.
Yes,
right?
ma'am. But
so I'm asking you, when you did this request to the administration, where's the concrete? Where's the tangible impact? Are they going to shorten the timeline? Is there an agreement with the post saying that, okay, the training will be prioritized, and as they're working on duty, then they'll go through the polygraph through this certain timeline? Has there been a phase plan in place? Have you gone to the post? Have you put out a phase plan? Is there anything tangible that shows this work, shows this recommendation?
I'm trying to recall, ma'am, if anything tangible other than we have gone and we've addressed it. But you're absolutely right. We will have to document it and then move it forward because you're absolutely right. It's not tangible.
It's not just a critical shortage of manpower that appears to be the problem at DOC. Rank-and-file officers, in an anonymous letter written with an official government letterhead, alleged a hostile and unsafe work environment. The Vice Speaker read the letter during the hearing.
Every decision Director Brennan has made thus far has been contrary to good leadership, contrary to security and safety, contrary to good morale, contrary to employee unity, and most importantly, contrary to logic. Director Brennan, do you have anything to say in response to this letter?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Lawmakers questioned some of Brennan's decisions, for example, why officers were working 24-hour shifts, why she decided to construct a fence around the halfway house, which is meant to prepare minimum-out inmates to reintegrate back into society, and why she decided to disband DOC's Special Operations Response Team, or SORT, and Internal Affairs Unit. Officers were clear in their letter they lacked faith in her leadership.
All we can do at this point is pray that no officer inmate gets killed or seriously injured because of the way this director is running this already crippled department. Sincerely, the employees of the Department of Corrections. Are you worried that there might be some kind of, in this letter that we received, they keep on talking about someone getting injured, seriously injured or killed. Are you worried that there might be at any instance of riots in the compound?
That's a concern every day.
Are you trying to address that issue?
Yes, ma'am. We're working on recruitment right now.
Since January, there's been an announcement out that DOC is hiring, but it wasn't until September that DOA provided a list of eligible candidates. Brennan is hoping to bring on board at least 35 DOC officers in the next 4 months. Senators are hoping it could be sooner if the director puts pen to paper.
Sam, I'm glad to hear that you're not ashamed to go to the governor's office and call for a state of an emergency, because I think it's very appropriate. And if you need it in black and white, I think you just need to send a letter to the front office and let them know that you are in a state of emergency right now.
According to Vice Speaker Nelson, anything can happen in the next 4 months, waiting for new officers to be on the job.
The morale apparently is low. They don't want to come to work anymore. 4 months. Anything can happen tomorrow. We were sitting here in oversight hearing and 2 inmates run away from the halfway house. And I'm hearing that the only reason someone knew about it is because an inmate that was being released saw them.
The Vice Speaker says she stands ready to help in any way possible, but Brennan needs to provide more information and a plan they can work on.
If we don't get the information quick enough, then we can't help the community. If you're going to keep everything close hold, then there's nothing, what help can we do?
Absolutely,
You need to bring
ma'am.
everything into the light so we can fix it. It's the leadership's duty to advocate for these things, to open, look outside the box and find ways to help the agency.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas, Matanani.
The Guam Memorial Hospital and the Guam Regional Medical City still remain on divert status. According to GRMC spokeswoman Cindy Hansen, the hospital has been on divert since Tuesday morning, and this is a result of GMH experiencing an overflow of patients and a lack of personnel and beds. GMH Administrator Lillian Posada says that the entire 3rd floor has reached capacity. As of this morning, 7 patients were in need of cardiac monitoring beds. Posada says when the ER doctor declares divert, it's then communicated to the Guam Fire Department, and medics alternate between the hospitals. Both GMH and GRMC want to assure the public that there is no reason to worry, and if anyone is in need of medical care, it will be provided. A construction worker on a project site in Jigo was unresponsive when medics arrived at the scene this morning. KUAM's Adriano Cotero reports.
Our workers that were here pulled him out and laid him on a board, started CPR on him right off, and I don't think he's going to make it.
This morning, a male in his late 40s went to work on a construction project site in Jigo with Wadman Corporation. According to Safety Officer Dan Wright, the worker was down in a 4 feet deep and 10 feet wide open footing. He was operating a small tamping machine to snap a line and then fell over.
4 foot deep, but it's about 10 foot wide, so there's no danger of falling in or anything like that, or the cave in or anything like that. It was just an unfortunate incident.
Immediately, the construction personnel called 911. Guam Fire Department spokesperson Kevin Riley tells KUAM that when they arrived, the man was uninjured, pulseless, and breathless. CPR was conducted at the scene and en route to Guam Regional Medical City. The construction company did not know the name of the man, as they have new workers coming in every day. Wright said they believe he may have had a heart attack while in the open footing. As far as you knew when he came into work today, everything seemed fine?
Yeah. I think he took off yesterday because he was sick. Safety oriented here, we're a very safe site, and we're just sad that something like this had to happen. Just glad that it wasn't a fall or something like that.
Wadman Corporation is building the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints Temple and Meeting House. Construction began in June and is expected to be completed in a year. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
As of news time, the condition of the man was unknown. Fresh off a win in the Guerra trial, defense attorney Sam Tecker and Curtis Vandeveld gives their take on why the case was pursued over others and the AG star witness. Chris Barnett has more.
Attorneys Curtis Vandeveld and Sam Tecker pulled off wins for their clients in the Guerra open government trial. The lawyers represented former agency board members Cecile Suda, David Sablon, and Roland Selvage, who were accused of violating the open government law way back in 2011. All three acquitted of all charges by a 6-member jury. However, other board members still on the hook for charges since they separated their cases. But would moving forward with those cases, in light of a not guilty verdict in this one, be a wise thing for Attorney General Levin Camacho to do?
The continued prosecution of the other Board of Commissioner members is a waste of government resources.
If they do bring it forward, they're going to have to rethink their strategy.
Both lawyers agree the aha moment in the trial was the testimony of the government's so-called star witness, former Guerra director Marcel Camacho. We asked Tecker when he felt the tide in the case turning.
After Curtis cross-examined Marcel Camacho.
KUAM files show Camacho was fired from GVB in 2009 and resigned from Guerra in 2012. At the time, Camacho said he had issues with the awarding of the low-income tax credits that became a focal point of the trial. But Guerra board members told KUAM he was placed on leave for making real estate deals as a broker while leading Guerra, something KUAM confirmed with Camacho's own resume. He also attempted to get a special waiver for Paradise Meadows, a company, at the time, he said he had nothing to do with.
In no way am I affiliated with Paradise Meadows.
But in that same interview from 2011, Camacho contradicts himself just moments later.
My father is a principal of Paradise Meadows.
We asked Vandeveld if he had issues with Camacho's credibility.
Yes, his testimony was evasive and at times untruthful, and I believe that it is based upon his personal biases. I wouldn't say that he intentionally lied. I would say more that he was blinded by his personal feelings.
At one point in the trial, Camacho said he was disgusted with the board and stormed out of a meeting because he wanted nothing to do with what was going on. But a recording of a subsequent board meeting was played, and Camacho was caught on tape laughing and joking around. Hardly the behavior of someone who is disgusted. Vandeveld pointed out the irony of charging board members for violating the open government law when Camacho, as the Guerra director, was responsible for making sure meeting announcements followed the law.
He was not very familiar with the obligation of giving notice, so management, who had the ultimate responsibility, didn't know what they were doing.
Meanwhile, Vandeveld also called out AG Camacho for pursuing the case. Vandeveld said there's clear evidence AG Camacho lets some people slide with breaking the law, both lawyers bringing up the AG's treatment of raises given by the Consolidated Commission on Utilities.
The Attorney General himself is well aware of the misdeeds of people at the CCU, but nothing happens. There are other agencies who behave similarly. Nothing happens.
Well, he actually came out and said to CCU, what you did is illegal. So then to rescind your order.
I think I'm going to want to know why it is he persists in having these people charged when he looks the other way on everything else.
We asked Vandeveld if he thought AG Camacho was fulfilling the purpose of an elected AG or if he was more like an AG appointed by the governor.
When you have an elected AG who has basically cast his vision away from misdeeds of the executive branch, have you really cured the problem by having an elected AG? And I think the answer to that is no.
KUAM asked AG spokeswoman Carlina Charfris if the AG was still planning on pursuing cases against other Guerra board members facing similar charges. Her response? The prosecution division is assessing that. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The latest with a ban on cockfighting up next.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're going to be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're going to be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Now there's a technology that's lighting the way to a new mortgage for people all across Guam. Introducing Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's leading lender. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii lets you apply for a home loan anytime from any device, making the mortgage and refi process faster and easier. Or work hand in hand with one of our residential loan experts. So put the power of choice and control in your hands. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. A sit-down between the Guam Department of Education and the Independent Interscholastic Athletic Association of Guam may be in the works. This after the IIAAG responds to DOE's invitation, asking the group if they would like to join in sports play for the third and fourth quarter. Quote, it would be unreasonable for GDOE to expect a response without providing more information, including any proposed schedules, wrote President of the IIAAG Terry DeBold, attaching two schedules with his letter. One with private and public school teams split into two divisions by district, the other with them split into separate divisions. DeBold also wrote that GDOE is a IIAAG member through the end of the school year, so they will be anticipated as participants in league schedules. Local businessman Freeland Song has filed a complaint in the district court against the United States, alleging the federal government is violating the constitutional rights of the people of Guam. At issue, the Farm Bill banning cockfighting, the denial of Guam's Washington delegate being allowed to vote in Congress, Guam not being able to have a senator in the U.S. Senate, and the denial of Guam's voting rights. Linsong writes we should not be denied to preserve our culture, custom, tradition, and political rights because it's secured by the U.S. Constitution. He argues, how will the U.S. citizens in the mainland react if the U.S. Congress bans horse racing, deer hunting, shooting birds and ducks, training whales and other animals against their will? KUAM's Adriana Cotero sits down with Prison Fellowship Guam volunteer Vanji Kabakar to discuss the annual Angel Tree Program, a global initiative that gives children with incarcerated parents a gift to unwrap on Christmas Day.
You know, I wondered about recidivism, and the only way to make a difference is to really work with everyone as a community, not just in the victim side, but also in the offender's side.
Vanjie Kabakar and her family are survivors of homicide, having lost a close loved one that was a victim of murder back in 2006.
Any type of victimization, everyone responds differently. Everyone, and you know, there's grief, right? So grief, everyone grieves differently as well. But in working with victims, perpetrators, and with the community, we all have choices.
Vanjie chose to volunteer at the Prison Fellowship Guam, a ministry that for the past 10 years has joined in a global initiative, the Angel Tree Program.
There's a quote in the Bible that says that what the enemy meant for evil, God has turned for good. And I have seen so many lives change.
Nationwide since 1982, the program has changed the lives of inmates and their families with the help of churches, organizations, and individuals in each community. Vanjie tells KUAM that nearly 350 children have been cared for on Guam, with their main objective to
highlight the story of the true meaning of Christmas.
This is done by inmates first applying to be part of the program. Then trained volunteers within the community will attend a training and begin calling the children of the incarcerated parents to ask them their Christmas wishes. The gifts must be under the tree by Christmas Day.
Whenever a sponsor or volunteer calls and asks the child, what would you like for Christmas? What they're going to find is the children ask things like, I need socks, I need shoes. Several times these past years, they'll ask for uniforms for school.
Vanjie says each year there are at least 100 volunteers.
The organizations and the churches, you see, are very involved. And when we're doing this, the inmates also learn to appreciate, not just the families and the children, but the inmates learn to appreciate that my island, my people really care about my family and about me.
Changing the mindset amongst the inmates and making an impact on recidivism rates on the island. Those incarcerated express their gratitude and oftentimes feel moved.
The Department of Corrections and with Prison Fellowship Guam coordinate a volunteer appreciation celebration, and so all the volunteers come in. They get to meet with the inmates who were participants or applicants of the Angel Tree, and they do performance. Some of them come up to the stand and they get really emotional, and some of them cry and say thank you for, you know, taking care of my children, and thank you for showing the love and introducing them to Jesus.
This act of kindness is restorative justice for Vanjie, and she encourages others, whether they be victims of a crime or want to give back this holiday season, to remember this.
At some point, we are in charge of our destiny. We're in charge in how we manage that grief. And I just made that choice, so we have to make a choice. We can grieve, and it's okay to grieve. But I chose not to grieve. It was too painful. And so having to turn the other cheek and to turn it around, what the enemy meant for evil, to turn it around in a positive, was so much more therapeutic and healing for me.
The community can get involved by attending the volunteer training this Saturday from 10 to 12 p.m. at the Luther Church in Aniqua, or contact Vanjie directly at 489-8264 or email Vanjie_Guam@yahoo.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
This afternoon, guest speaking before the Rotary Club of Guam was agriculturist Glenn Dula of the Guam Department of Agriculture Biosecurity Division. Dula gave a presentation on the spread of little fire ants on island. The little fire ant is on the list of the top 100 invasive species in the world, and Dula discussed with members of progress on steps being taken to control it locally. The Guam Visitors Bureau Shop Guam E-Festival kicks off Sunday with a press conference that was held today ahead of the launch. The free Shop Guam mobile app is available in 6 different languages and also serves as a visitor guide with sections featuring local events and businesses found only on Guam. This year marks the 8th year GVB has used the app to promote local business to visitors and residents. Additionally, utilizes new QR codes that merchants can scan for shoppers to redeem offers. Unlike the other promotional seasons, the Winter E-Festival period will use the Shop Guam Mobile's app iBeacon technology, which alerts users through real-time push notifications when they are nearby Shop Guam merchants. GVB CEO Pilar Laguanya.
but on Guam, it's year-round.
As I mentioned, the Guam Shop app uses QR codes that merchants can scan for shoppers to redeem offers. And again, the Shop Guam mobile app's iBeacon technology alerts users through real-time push notifications when they're near merchants. GVB Deputy Bobby Alvarez says this year's Shop Guam E-Festival emphasizes made in Guam products. The Shop Guam E-Festival will also employ the use of social media influencers from Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, Korea, and Japan. The E-Festival runs from Sunday through February 10th, 2020. Dave Delgado is next with sports.
What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it.
Agent Alpha. In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired.
Agent Alpha. Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the circus is coming. The Super American Circus is coming to Guam. UOG Calvo Fieldhouse, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. Starring Guinness World Record holder Blake Wallenda, the greatest high wire walker on the planet. The incredible Mario Espana on the Wheel of Danger. Aerialists, balancers, jugglers, dancers, fire eaters, acrobats, hilarious clowns, and stars from America's Got Talent. Witness Superheroes Live, an amazing cast of performers from around the world. Come on, come all to the Super American Circus. 3 days only, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. To purchase tickets, visit superamericancircus.com and like our Facebook page for a chance to win tickets.
Okay. Can I be to Alan, please?
Attention passengers of flight AJ3004, your flight has been delayed.
It's the flavor that makes you go, woo. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Made with tender, juicy, all-white meat chicken.
Available in 4, 6, or 10-piece chicken tenders. Try the spicy barbecue crispy chicken sandwich too.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the way, some powerlifting news, but first off, info on this weekend's high school all-star football game. Check it out. The 5th annual Triple J High School Football All-Star Game is scheduled for this Saturday, November 9th at the JFK Field. The island's best high school football players will strap it up one last time. Gates open at 3 in the afternoon with the Matua All-Star Game getting the day started at 4, followed by the High School All-Star Game at 6:30. GW coach Ryan Rios will lead the Raptors. Rios' first pick of the draft was Guam High School quarterback Trayvon Jacobs. Guam High coach Jacob Dowdell will lead the Mustangs. His second pick of the draft was FD running back Kian Artero. Over the last few years, the All-Star Game has come down to the wire. This year should make for another exciting matchup. Players look forward to the game every season as they get a chance to become teammates with players from other schools. Switching over to some weightlifting news, Guam powerlifter Vinny Taitingfong bagged 4 medals at the North Dakota Open. Vinny took gold in the junior division for 165-pound lifters, gold for the deadlift for junior, and gold in the open, and a bronze for his third place finish overall.
It was pretty fun. It's my first meet in about a year and a half. I was by myself this time, but I met some pretty cool people, and it made things a lot easier. Really enjoyable. They were pretty surprised. I told them that I was a one-lift wonder, so I'd say my best lift is my deadlift, and I showed out, and they were pretty impressed, and they loved it. Even the judges had fun watching me lift, so it was cool.
His total weight of 1,126 pounds consisted of a 232-pound bench, 364-pound squat, and a very impressive 530-pound deadlift. The 2016 FD graduate is from Petey and is the son of Vince and Lena Taitingfong and husband to Brittany Taitingfong. Vinny says his son Xavier was his inspiration at the USPA event where he represented for 671 Barbell.
It's so good, man. I just actually have a newborn son, and that was like my big motivation for this meeting, to show him that he can do whatever he wants as long as he puts his mind to it. And I hope that shows also for people back home that just put the work into it and you'll reap the benefits.
Soldiers from the Guam Army National Guard's 1st 294th Infantry Regiment, who are currently supporting the multinational force and observers peacekeeping mission in the Sinai Peninsula, participated in a friendly softball tournament, taking the top 2 spots and boosting morale and their relationships with international forces. The softball tournament was held at Forward Operating Base North in northern Sinai, Egypt, and featured teams from various allied countries for fun and camaraderie. The Guam Guard's Charlie Company's Sabre Platoon took first, while its Spartan Platoon were runners-up. The Australian contingent's team was 3rd place.
It is the spirit within us, our soul, our essence that drives us to seek a better way, to create beauty and enrich the senses, to inspire fulfilling lives, to be at one with our earth and protect those who we love. Only by taking on challenges do we change the world for the better.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
Welcome back. Here's your birthday shout-outs.
We have 2 birthday shout-out recipients tonight, led off by Rainerio Seraficio. Joji is how Rainerio is also known. And happy birthday to our dad and grandfather from his wife, his 3 kids, and only grandson, Hazen. Happy birthday to you, sir. Also, happy birthday to Vivian Sanchez Sayama, who blows up the candle today. So, Vivian, we at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery hope you had a fantastic birthday. And we invite everybody who had a birthday today but we weren't able to mention, get them on tomorrow. We'd love to do belated birthday wishes for you. So, we'll see you tomorrow.
You can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by checking out KUAM.com. That's it for us here on Primetime. Stay tuned. In the Mix is next.